Hello friends, today we are going to learn how to remove ABC in Tableau. First, we are going to learn what happens when we double click on a dimension or a measure and how can we use to our advantage while building tabular views in Tableau. Secondly, let's explore different options to remove ABC for different scenarios. And thirdly, we are going to learn how to change the name of a header without renaming and creating a calculating field using a shortcut. Without any further delay, let's start removing ABC in Tableau. So before that, let me show you if I am clicking on a category, which is a string field, it is automatically moved to the row shelf. So if I'm again clicking on a subcategory, which is also in hierarchy with category, it is also moving to the row shelf. So like this, if we have any dimension fields which are string data type and are in hierarchy, they'll be placed one after the other into the row shelf. So let me again do with date field. So whenever we have date fields here, so if we have or if we are using date field for the first time on the double click, and again if you want to extend them directly, you can straight away click here only instead of using the plus option in the view. So whenever we are using date fields, it is going to the column shelf. And let's say if I'm double clicking on a measure, so it is moved to the rows shelf. So now we understood that we can double click on the fields and get them into the view. So let's look at the first scenario wherein we need only one dimension in the view so that we can use these furniture or office supplies or technology in a dashboard to make filter actions. So in that case, I don't want ABC, right? So simple alternative to do this is use a polygon so that you will be ABC will be removed. So this is the first case. And secondly, let's assume if we have more than one dimension into the view. So let me bring subcategory here and double clicking on category and subcategory. And again, we are going with the subcategory. Now, let's say I want a profit field into the view. So if I'm double clicking on it, it is filled in the text view. And whenever there are already dimensions in the view, and if we are double clicking on a measure, it is automatically moved to the mark shelf text label. So now if we want to have header of this column, we are going to click on the column shelf and name it as profit. Click enter and hide the first one. So this is the first case. This is how we can rename if we have a single measure. But there is also another shortcut. We can do the same without creating an empty profit shelf. So let's move back again. So let me bring again profit here. So now if I'm moving down and double clicking on a measure names, so now I'm able to get the name straight away. So if I'm removing the one part of one name, so if I'm removing one measure name, so without any creation of blank of profit, we are able to get the profit header also along with removing the ABC in the view. Now let's consider another case straight away. If you want category wise, subcategory wise sales, profit and quantity, we can straight away double click on them so that we'll be able to remove ABC, and headers also will automatically created whenever we are double clicking on them. So if you are not using double clicking on the measure, then you have to physically bring the measure names into the filters and to the column shelf so that you will be able to get the relevant headers for the measure values. Let's move to the third case where we have dimensions in the view without any measure. So let's take that scenario. Now I have category, subcategory, and if I'm clicking on another mode also to the right side of it, and Now, if we still want to remove the ABC, and this is itself is a view, so to remove this, we have to create a blank field. Let's name it as blank, and two double quotes, which resembles an empty space. And let's bring this into the text field. So we are able to remove ABC, right? So after that, if you want to remove this row banding along with the lines, we need to go into the format option. Right, clicking on this, click on format, and first go to the borders. And at the rows level, we can straight away remove here and here also. So like this also we can remove, or else we can move to the rows and column shelf and do the same option here. Now we also have banding here. If required, we can also remove banding from the shading option to the rows, and we can decrease the banding size also or remove it if required. Let's move on to the final phase wherein to place a measure here. Let's say profit in this case. And after that, I want a dimension to be placed here. In a real-time scenario, this can be also a case wherein I need to place a dimension after a measure. So now I want a region to be displayed to the right side of the measure. So this can be also one case. As we have used blank, we don't have ABC. Let me remove this. So we can resolve the same using the blank option also, or else we can simply bring this region to the text column instead of using blank. And for the title, we can double click here and type region and click enter. So hide this one. So you can choose either of the methods to resolve this ABC when you have a dimension after a measure. Finally, let's learn about one more shortcut when renaming the fields of the headers in the view. Let's say I want to rename category as only cat. Instead of for the entire worksheet, I want to rename only for this worksheet. I'm using forward double slash and entering the name which I want to display and clicking shift enter and again clicking enter here. So now my header or the label has been changed to cat. So if you want to double click on this, if you see the name which we have renamed is on the top and the actual field is at the bottom. If you click on the down arrow, you'll be able to see the actual category dimension. So this is how you will be renaming headers for the discrete dimensions, which are string fields. This will not work for dealing with measure values. And if you want to rename only for this particular sheet, you can just create a new calculation like this and profit variable. I'm naming this as so, and like this, we'll be able to apply and bring this into the view and convert this into discrete. So like this, we can change the names also for the dimensions and measures in Tableau. So let's meet up with another new topic on Tableau. And let me know if you have any doubts on Tableau in the comment section below. Until next video, happy visualizing.